Welcome to Coffee Break with Rachel Vigil, taking a daily look at the biggest stories in Denver sports and interacting live with you, the Coffee Break fam. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of joe, and enjoy your coffee break. Here's your host, Rachel Vigil.
I am still not over the comeback that was last night as the Nuggets come back from 20 points to be able to beat the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 2 of Round 1 of the NBA Finals, 101-99 on a Jamal Murray buzzer beater, especially after he struggled so hard with shooting. He's able to put the ball in the basket. It was an insane game. There's so much to dive into. We've also got Avs, a little bit of Broncos to, talk about on this Tuesday. So as I welcome in my very good friend, Will Petersen, because yes, oh my gosh, I feel like I can finally breathe, but I got home last night. I feel like I was still pretty amped up. This morning, I was like all excited to get out here and be able to talk about it. Well, that game was one of the craziest games I've ever experienced.
Yeah, I'm so jealous you got to be there, Rachel, and see it in person because, I mean, it was electric. And I have rewatched all the angles of the Jamal Murray buzzer beater about 50 times. I'm laying in bed last night, and you're not supposed to look at your phone when you're trying to fall asleep, but I just couldn't help it. And I swear there's 19,000 people in the building, and 10,000 of them had it on their phones, so you could watch it. Oh, I'm going to watch it from the third deck over there. I'm going to watch it from the first level over here. Like, every reaction is priceless. And then the pop when the ball goes in. Rewatch those videos and hear the that Ball Arena collectively is one of the loudest pops in sports I have heard on a big shot, big play in a long time, because it's 19,000 people screaming at the exact same time. And then the video the Nuggets got of Jamal getting mobbed on the bench. I mean, it's just unreal. And you got Anthony Davis trying to bring that up, get involved in the mob, and you got KCP holding him up. Like, they were friends at one point. They were teammates. He doesn't want AD to get injured. We could do 20 minutes on that shot alone. There's just so much to digest about it.
It was so crazy. So yeah, I was actually running because I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, if we're going to be completely honest, I had started walking down to where I go for all of them to walk off to get the photo spot. And MPJ ties it up, which, by the way, that play right there was just complete gold. The fact that Aaron Gordon kept his toes in bounds and enough to be able to throw it back to MPJ. And I was so happy for MPJ. Like, he's had such a hard week. And for him to be able to drain a shot that ties up the game, and it was just like pure gold. It was such a beautiful play. I was so happy for him. So I'm like running down. I see that they tie it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like right behind the basket, and I'm like, Jamal, I don't even get to see the ball go in the basket because somebody's head is in front of me, but I just hear the crowd go absolutely crazy. And I'm like, I can't believe they just did this. Like, I cannot believe we just got to experience this. Yeah. With 19,000 people in attendance.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you look at the final 3 minutes really, and there's so much to digest there. It was chaos because you have LeBron really taking over. I mean, even though he got the N1 on the first one, that was a circus shot. It probably shouldn't have been an N1, but it was an amazing shot. And then he gets the layup with 47 seconds left, and he is screaming N1. He is irate it's not an N1. Jamal comes down, hits the free throw jumper over AD with like 30-ish left. And then LeBron pushes off on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, gets a wide open three with about, 9-10 seconds left. And I saw a lot of people saying Michael Jordan would hit that shot. And you know what? Michael Jordan would hit that shot. Instead, it goes in and out. MPJ gets the rebound. Nuggets come down. And I got to be honest, I didn't love the last possession. If you watch some of the local calls, they're saying, got to go, you got to go, you got to go. Because Jamal's at half court with about 4 or 5 seconds left. And I'm like, get the ball to Jokic, get the ball to Jokic, get the ball to Jokic. And how much crow am I eating? Because Jamal over Anthony Davis, Rachel, you'll remember Game 2 of the bubble. Anthony Davis hit a buzzer beater to break our hearts. Game 2 last night, Jamal hits a buzzer beater over AD to break their hearts. AD has a little microphone meltdown post-game and slams his microphone. Again, so much happened last night that I hope I gave a good recap there, but it was chaos. It was amazing.
We'll get into the press conference stuff here in just a second. Okay. But I was with you when I was like, don't take that shot, Jamal. Right? Like, we watched him miss so many. But also, let's just talk. The shooting was terrible. I have never seen so many balls spin around the rim and just pop out in my entire life in one game. Like, it was constantly happening. And I was like, what is going on with this rim? Like, are the basketball gods with a lowercase g, like, are they saying, all right, we're going to really make you work for it? I don't know. I was just, every single time I was like, how can another one just be bouncing out? It was insane. But I was with you when it came to, I was like, please don't take the shot, Jamal. Please don't take the shot. Give it to Jokic. And then when he took it, I was just like, oh my gosh. And then watching it actually all, happen and the entire thing and hearing the cheers, I was like, I can't believe we witnessed this. I still can't even process everything correctly.
Yeah, it was one of those things. Once he had it with about 3, I knew he was going to have to take it or they weren't going to get one off. So you're right. It was that get to Jokic, get to Jokic, get to Jokic. Like, okay, we didn't get it to Jokic, so here we go. We're going to have to live with whatever result we have.
Yeah.
And for him to hit a shot over, I mean, how tall is AD? 7'1"? I don't know, something like that.
Massive.
For him to hit a fadeaway over AD in the corner was just sick. And you're right about the ins and outs. I mean, the TNT broadcast, Reggie Miller was all over that. He was just flabbergasted. I think in the third quarter alone, I counted 5 threes. 5 that went halfway down and out. That's 15 points right there. But you're also right. I mean, they could have pulled away if they made those, but let's be honest, the Lakers couldn't make anything in the second half either. I mean,
I know.
They cooled off so hard. It felt like they were stuck on 74 points for like 6 minutes, and they were. And then down the stretch, the only reason they even had a shot is because LeBron hit those 2 threes and those 2 other buckets. AD didn't score in the fourth quarter, which was crazy because he was unreal the first 3 quarters, and then he really kind of choked down the stretch, not only getting burned on defense, but giving them nothing offensively as well.
It just makes me look ahead to LA. And game 1, you saw the Lakers get really tired. I feel like we didn't see that as much last night for game 2. More that it was just, they just couldn't really make anything. Like, they didn't look that exhausted like they did in game 1. But that's why I actually think that they might pull off 1, if not even 2 wins going into Los Angeles now. You're down from altitude. Like, they put together a solid game plan. But at the exact same time, the Nuggets just weren't making any shots. And for them to have a shooting night like they did last night, I just can't see it happening more than once.
So it's that fine line of, I agree with you. LA's played 2 really good games. I mean, LA could be up 2-0 in this series, but the Nuggets just have their number and have now won 10 in a row. But I think I lean the other side of the coin, Rachel. What we witnessed post-game was a broken team. The Lakers are broken. The Nuggets broke the LA Lakers. And I wouldn't be shocked if it's another sweep because I just think mentally now the Lakers' brain is absolutely fried. So I see both your points. I honestly do. I'm not trying to hedge here. Could it come back to Denver 2-2? Of course it could come back to Denver 2-2. Lakers have played great. Could we be talking about brooms on Saturday night? Absolutely, because that is a Lakers team that just looked so defeated, and I love it. I drink their tears, Rachel.
See, and I feel the opposite, which is so funny. I agree that it was broken. You don't hear LeBron James cursing multiple curse words in a press conference very often. But I thought after game 1, they were going to kind of be like, all right, like, I don't remember what the final score is off the top of my head right now, but it really just felt like the Nuggets were able to go in there. Like, they gave them their best shot, whatever, but they bounced back in game 2. They played a really, really solid game. And if they don't have the crowd behind them, or if the Nuggets don't have the crowd behind them, I do think that they're going to be able to pull off at least 1. I think the Nuggets will win 1 game in LA, but I think that LeBron and AD felt so much disrespect last year after the Western Conference Finals. There's still a chip on their shoulder. And after last night, it's easy to go out there and blame the refs. And we all tend to blame people when we're emotional and something didn't go our way. So, like, to an extent, I kind of get it. But the way they did it was also very, like, over the top. But I think they're going to go out there with an even bigger chip and be like, nope, like, let's go. We're going to really give it our best effort again. And I think that they can pull one off. So it's interesting. You and I see differently.
Yeah, that's why sports are the best. Because like I said, I could see either way happening.
Yeah.
But I'll challenge you on one thing. You said there is a chip on their shoulder. I think there was a chip on their shoulder. I think these guys are just.
No.
I think they're down. I mean, Anthony Davis had a temper tantrum. LeBron had a temper tantrum. Darvin Ham had a temper tantrum. D'Angelo Russell had a temper tantrum. That takes a lot out of you to be that emotionally exhausted. Rachel, they blew a 20-point lead. We cannot overstate the dagger the Nuggets stuck in their heart last night while they blew a 20-point lead in a playoff game. And then post-game, they're blaming the refs for a call in the third quarter. Like, how desperate do you have to be that one call in the third quarter made you blow a 20-point lead? How about taking some accountability, Lakers, They were willing to take none last night. No, I think they're broken. I think they're looking forward to Cancun on Sunday.
And how about Michael Malone getting 2 successful challenges? We have to also address this. 2 successful challenges. Huge shout out to Michael Malone and his coaching staff on making the right calls when it felt right and being able to do that. Because, yeah, I feel like the Nuggets got kind of a few bad calls, which, again, I don't really like to blame the refs. I feel like I can watch that game and you always have to see the replay. So the fact that they can make calls just right there, on a dime, I'm like, that's a tough job for anyone. So I don't know. Just the fact that Michael Malone was able to do 2 successful ones, I was like, you go, Michael Malone. Like, great job. I almost cursed right there. I almost pulled a LeBron James right there.
Well, it's huge that he has 2 successful challenges because you think there's no way the NBA is going to overturn calls.
That's what I thought.
The LA Lakers, and they do. So it goes to show you that, the Nuggets are getting a little more respect. They are getting a more fair whistle.
Yeah.
And also some of those calls were absurd. So I don't fault Michael Malone for challenging him. Like he said, he's got a whole staff looking at the monitors, the iPads, telling him what to do, and they have like 10 seconds to make a decision. So you don't have a lot of time. But yeah, it kind of felt like, wow, we belong on the same stage as these guys because we are getting calls too. We are getting overturns too. And it's just it's a weird feeling as a Nuggets fan. You've been here your whole life, as have I. Never, ever thought we'd see the day the Denver Nuggets are on equal footing as the LA Lakers.
Isn't that so funny? Okay, so that game was obviously a ton of fun, but yesterday even more news broke. Zach Wilson involved in a trade with the Denver Broncos. Is he going to be QB1 on week 1, or do you still think that they're going to attack the draft and try and get a quarterback?
No, I don't think this changes much in the first round. I mean, this is a total flyer on a former number 2 overall pick, and they didn't give up anything. I mean, they moved back like 40 rounds super late in the draft. That's throwing darts anyways at that point. They even got the Jets to split the salary with them. It was like, wow, yeah, we'll take him, but you pay $2.75 million. We'll pay $2.75 million. Yep. And the Jets really gave this guy away for a bag of football. So am I encouraged that, hey, there's maybe a reclamation project here? Yes. Mm-hmm. But last night on 104.3 The Fan, James Merlot and I got into this because he said there's a 40% chance he's successful. And I said, there's a 1% chance he's successful. This is a lottery ticket. Let's be clear on that. I love James's optimism. We don't get it all that often, but it's not 40%. It's 1%. And I really, really don't think this changes night 1 plans. I think they will still be very aggressive on Thursday night to hopefully land their quarterback in the future.
This is going to sound ridiculous, but it just made me really question what the heck is going on in Sean Payton's head. Like, I don't know if you've seen that trend, but it's like, what is going on inside your head? Because do we remember how much they paid Jarrett Stidham 2 years ago or last year? Like,
I think five and a half, maybe a year.
Yeah. And I'm like, so you thought that he was good enough to be that, to pay him to be that if Russell Wilson was going to go out. Russell Wilson's no longer here. But now you also take on Zach Wilson. I'm confused. I'm like, did we learn that Jarrett Stidham wasn't that good? Because he really isn't. No offense to Jarrett Stidham fans. Like, why are you paying him more? Just the whole thing. I'm like, this is a disaster. Like, what are we doing?
Okay, but I got to counter a little bit.
Please.
Quarterback money in the NFL is like $45 to $50 million for good.
But you were already paying Russell Wilson so much money.
I get it, but paying Jarrett Stidham 5.5 and paying Zach Wilson 2.75 doesn't mean you can't go invest in the quarterback position. Like the elite quarterbacks are making 10 times what those 2 guys are making combined.
No. And I'm totally with you right there. But it was just like, why are you paying? You could have got Jarrett Stidham for probably $2.75 million again. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't going for big bucks. So why did you end up paying him so much more? His agent must have done a phenomenal job with negotiations. But it just, like, at the end of the day, those millions do add up. And with what they're already paying for Russell Wilson, now you're paying essentially $7 million, almost $8 million for a quarterback. Like, a rookie deal, luckily, is super cheap. But I'm just like, where was the difference maker in Jarrett Stidham with where he was last year and why they decided to pay him so much? And now this year, because let's be honest, I think it would be Zach Wilson over Jarrett Stidham week 1 if that's the way they decide to go.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Zach Wilson has more upside than Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
But I am so desperate for us to be 48 hours from now because hopefully we can be talking about JJ McCarthy is the starter week 1, or Drake May is the starter week 1, or I've said all along, Jaden Daniels,
Daniels.
come on, let's make something happen. Is the starter week 1, or worst case, we're talking about, hey, it's a competition between Bo Nix and Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham, or it's a competition between Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, and Jarrett Stidham. But or Zach Wilson, excuse me, as we've talked about 100 times, though, they have to get one of the big 6 quarterbacks on Thursday night.
Agreed.
And I've repeated that line for 4 months, and we are finally this close to knowing if they will get one of the big 6 quarterbacks. And then we can project how training camp will look. Because right now we're in just that no man's land of maybe it's Zach Wilson versus Jarrett Stidham. Well, guess what? We'll know in 48, at worst 72 hours, if it's Zach Wilson versus Jarrett Stidham.
How disappointed are you if they go in a different direction than quarterback?
I mean, if it's Brock Bowers, okay, because, my big, not Brock Bowers or Brock Bowers and, Brock Bowers and Penix, Brock Bowers and Michael Penix, but any other player, I will be disappointed. The 3 wide receivers are a pipe dream. They're going to be off the board. If they go defense, I can't do it anymore. I'll recover by July, but I will say I'm boycotting training camp if they go defense.
Oh, I'm totally with you. If they draft another corner, I don't even know what I would do. So it will be interesting. I am headed out to Detroit tomorrow. So Will and James Marilat will be here on Coffee Break, breaking you down everything. I don't know what you guys are going to talk about. I'm sure some other news will drop, or of course the draft. But last one for you, because we got our Papa Murphy's question of the day. Tonight, the Colorado Avalanche game 2 against the Winnipeg Jets. Georgiev will be in net. What is the tipping point for Georgie tonight? How many goals before you say, nope, we have to make a change?
0. I wrote it at denversports.com this morning. He should not play again for the Colorado Avalanche. So no, they need to be praying that Justus Ananen's feeling better. I mean, Rachel, they're going to hit the ice here any moment now, and we'll see if the juice is out there. Hopefully he is. And then, honestly, they called up Prosvetov from the Eagles as well. Remember, he played 11 games for the Avalanche in the regular season. It wasn't great, but I guarantee it'd be better than what Georgie did in game 1. He had a .696 save percentage. That is truly terrible. So, no, I mean, we may be on different pages here, but I hope it's 0. I hope he is not the starter tonight. It is inexcusable to make Georgiev the starter tonight. It's a disservice to Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, Mikko Rantanen, that whole hockey team to trot Georgie out there because you know what? They're going to bluff at this afternoon skate. They are. That's what hockey teams do.
Yeah.
Right? So they start at 7:50 tonight. Turn on your Twitter machine about 7:20, and the beat writers up there will tweet out which goalie leads them on the ice. Obviously, that is the starter. I'm not going to read too much into what happens this afternoon. I am keeping my fingers crossed. 7:20, Justus Annunen has led the Colorado Avalanche onto the ice for game 2.
Oh, I've been joking with everybody. I'm like, listen, there are lots of things that we can give sick people to get them on out there. Hopefully they're able to figure it out. But let's just bear with me, okay? Georgie has to start, okay? I know you don't want him to, but he's starting. Jared Bednar says we have to believe in Georgie. Whatever it is, Georgie's going to be in net. Is it 1 goal? Is it 2 goals? Is it 3 goals before you say you're gone? Prosvetov is going out there. How many goals are you giving? And what's the leash for you?
I mean, you're asking me to play along, so I'll play along.
If
he starts,
2?
The leash is the size of a leash for a miniature chihuahua. 1 goal.
Wait, are there such thing as miniature chihuahuas?
I don't know, but it's the smallest leash to mankind. Maybe it's walking your hamster around the block. It is a tiny little leash. 1 goal.
1?
1.
What if the goal comes in the second period?
He's not posting a shutout in the first period. I love your hypotheticals. I'll entertain them.
I'm trying.
If Georgie starts and Winnipeg has a 0 on the board in the first period, I will be stuck.
Me too. Especially with, it's not just everyone's like, well, it's just 1 bad game. I'm like, no, this has been going on for weeks now that he has struggled. So I'm giving him 2 goals. Then I think you put Prosvetov in. I'm with you though. I hope Annunen is ready to go. What's your game prediction for tonight?
It just depends on the goalie. That's what sucks. Like, if I had a crystal ball and I knew who was leading him on the ice, if it's Annunen, Rachel, they'll win 5-3. And this thing will come back to Denver tied 1-1. And it'll be great. If it's Georgie, they'll lose 6-4. And I can write the same column again and again because they don't want to learn their lesson. They'll be down 2-0, and
Interesting.
we could be talking about a sweep on Sunday afternoon. So, yeah, if they make the correct decision at goalie tonight, they win. If they make the wrong decision at goalie tonight, they lose.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will see. Hopefully, it's coming back to Denver here on Friday night, tied 1-1. Will Petersen, you will be at the game, correct?
Yeah, I will be there Friday night. Excited to cover it for Denver Sports and 104.3 The Fan. Then I'll be back there on Sunday afternoon. I hope we're talking about, maybe a 3-1, 2-2 series. But if it goes poorly tonight, the funeral could be on Sunday afternoon. And that is just way, 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 way too soon for what was once a promising season to come to such a quick end.
People are going to get mad at me when I say this, but if they have another first-round exit, Jared Bednar's job does need to be in question. Okay, with that note right there.
You can't leave on that mic. Okay. You mic dropped me. You don't let me respond saying the head coach could get fired. It's your
mic drop, Will Petersen. Hopefully we're not talking about it. We'll come back next week if they got bounced in the first round and have that conversation right there. Will Petersen, always a pleasure. Thank you so very much. And to everybody in the comments too, thank you for hanging out with us and spending just a little bit of your day with us. Like I said, I will be traveling to Detroit tomorrow, so make sure you come support all of the guys as they fill in here on Coffee Break, Denver Sports Daily. And thank you so much. If you're watching us on YouTube though, make sure you subscribe. May 10th, I think, is the final day. Yes, May 10th. Make sure you subscribe and you can come hang out with us here in the studios. You get lunch by Brothers Barbecue. You get to go watch the drive in their studios with Phil and Zach. It's going to be a super fun time. So come hang out with us May 10th. Make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube. We will see you guys back here on Thursday with myself. And like I said, come support the guys tomorrow. So see you guys all later and have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye.